So, between being a little bit under the weather and something I was listening to on the radio yesterday, I thought boredom was a interesting and prevalent topic to have a little chat over. I spent a large portion of my life being bored. This is not in itself a bad thing, and everyone experiences boredom and we all tackle it in different ways. I do find that now one of my go-to solutions is, of course, my phone, much as everyone else's is. I try and avoid doing this when I become aware of it, but it is natural to turn to one's addictions when one is feeling bored. The thing is, you spend maybe 17, 18 hours a day awake. And how many of those hours do you actually remember? Chances are a good portion of those hours, 15, 16 of them, you are bored. And by that, I don't mean you're sitting there going, oh my God, I'm bored, as my kids do, as you do, my kids, if you're watching this. You're just sitting there like zoned out doing what it is you do. It could be at work, it could be at home, it could be traveling. You are sitting there bored. We find things to fill up this time. Sometimes it's reading, which is certainly not the worst thing at all that you could be doing. It could just be daydreaming. It could be you find something to do around the house to keep it tidy. Some people will get up and struggle to sit down for a period of time, so they'll start tidying and sorting. Sometimes you'll grab for your phone, start watching YouTube videos or scrolling social media. And when you're out and about, you might go and have a cigarette, or you might go and have something to eat. Eating is a massive one, because it fills up boredom time. Doesn't fill up a lot of it, but it gets you doing something briefly to fill it up, because a lot of us are very uncomfortable being bored. But in fact, it's such a large portion of our lives, we should be better with it, get better with it. I spent a large portion of my childhood bored, I guess, as I think a lot of people of my age did. You may not even remember it, but there was, if we had to travel somewhere, it was usually public transport, and even when we did have a car, there was a lot of time spent driving places in the car, and it was boring, and we would fight and shout and scream and get upset. But a big portion, we would just sit there not doing anything. At the moment, I'm not terribly healthy, having had a positive COVID test, and slightly lacking in energy and quite tired and achy. And the thing is, it's not just a boredom because, I can't go out because of isolating. It's just because I can't be bothered to do anything. I haven't got that energy to read or to scribble down or to do anything really practical. So I'm kind of stuck with my own thoughts and my own half thoughts because I'm too tired to think too much. Just like back along when I was taking those long journeys, or had just periods of time where you had to wait for stuff, just wait with nothing to entertain you. And it's something that we really, it's a skill that's lacked, is just that just patiently waiting. And it is just patiently waiting for the next thing to start sometimes, because sometimes there is nothing to do, and finding a way to avoid that discomfort of then having to do something, whether it's reaching for your phone or going and getting food to eat, or finding you can kill half an hour finding something to watch on Netflix, let alone the actual watching something. And there's nothing wrong with a bit of entertainment. I do most evenings. It's a good way to zone out and chill and relax, and it entertains. But when it fills up 10 hours of your day, then maybe you might want to be thinking about some other way of filling your time. And maybe it is just then filling boredom as opposed to because you enjoy it. I don't know. But the point is that most of our lives we will have periods of time where nothing is happening. And actually, the more you practice those periods of time without anything to do, the more you get used to just being okay with being bored. And it's okay to be bored. It's okay to sit there and do nothing and wait. And it's an important skill to have in life, because this will be periods of time you have this. You could be waiting for a job interview, and it's already anxiety and nervousness about the fact there is a job interview. I had it the other week with the triathlon. I got there really stupidly early in the morning. Me and one other lady were there first thing in the morning to book in. And then I had like over an hour's wait till anything else happened. And it was just like, and have a little chat with people, but I'm not overly social in that way. And you just wait. And if you're not good at handling the waiting, you find things to distract you. And I think when you're waiting for a job interview or to go into a physical endeavor like that, distracting yourself is kind of okay, but then you need to be in the zone for what you're doing. You need to be focused. So you can then, all of a sudden it's time to go, whether it's a job interview or jump in a pool and start swimming, and your brain suddenly goes, oh shoot, where am I? What am I doing? And that doesn't work well for you. But if you get used to that, the boredom factor, your brain just entertaining yourself in your head, perhaps that's not quite the right term, but just thinking, but being there in the moment, but also away, which sounds like a contradiction, a bit contrarian, it is, but you're not completely shutting off from what you're doing. You're there, but you're just content to be bored in that moment and just wait. And it's a skill where then you don't have that heightened anxiety, or at least you have some control over it. You can feel it, but and acknowledge it rather than hide from it, which is what often like turning to the phones or something like this does. It hides from your anxiety rather than learning to go with the flow with it. So just sometimes just practice being bored and accept that it's okay. It's okay to be bored sometimes. 99% of the world is probably bored right now, but those aren't the times you'll remember, but they are still important. Anyway, have a nice day.